Welcome to the end of August. That's the first thing I want to talk to everyone about. We are in the last week of August. We are rolling into the unofficial end of summer, will be next week. And so I thought we would look at the markets one more time, as we always do. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a lot of the charts that we've discussed in the past. As they've changed, I make changes, but you'll see a lot of what we've been talking about, because most of the stuff that we've shown you and commented to in the past really have been spot on as to where we see them going. The S&P is no stranger to this. Last week, we talked about the fact that we were looking to come up and hit that all-time high. We're very, very close to the all-time highs for SPY. There's your all-time highs back in July. Here we are coming into the end of August. We are so close to hitting a new all-time high. And we believe that it might take a little while, because you'll see, as we go through here, that we might have to get through that Labor Day weekend. Holidays are typically good for the U.S. stock market. And so for that, we see this moving really kind of partly cloudy to mostly sunny, moving up into new all-time highs. We have an all-time high, a new target of 580 that we talked about back in June and July. We thought it was off the table in August with that big pullback, but it's come back. And we see that happening here into the month of September and even into October. All right, we'll talk about why here in just a moment. This is the bond market. The bond market is agreeing with the stock market. And really the big reason why we see everything moving higher is this increase of liquidity, potential rate cuts that are coming, right? Chairman Powell said last week that we have really paved the way for rate cuts, that the rate hikes we've had have put a tamper on inflation and have put a cooling on the job market. And this really does pave the way for rate cuts. We see as that happens, the target for TLT should be above 100, closer to 102.50. And we've had a rise in sentiment now, really going back since springtime, as we've started to put in this long-term trend line that you see here. All right, moving to oil. And I've discussed that oil is in a seasonally bearish pattern, but oil did something today that we didn't expect. It came up to the top side of our bearish fork. This is a fork where we take a pivot high, a pivot low, and then another pivot high to project these lines of support or resistance. Resistance line here, which we hit. We've got an equilibrium line, and we've got that long downside bearish target. But we see this, if this holds, we see that target still drifting down lower into around $70 for USO. That's really the only bearish thing we see on the chart right now, and it's more of a seasonal bear than anything else. Take a look at gold. We've been discussing this for quite a bit of time. Last week we said that gold was on track to run back up and hit new all-time highs. Very close to doing that. If we were to close where we are right now, that'd be a new closing high for GLD. We see the target of 250 still within reach, and we believe that's actually going to happen by election day. All right. And, I've mentioned here, so much for gold being a slow mover. The next resistance numbers are round. And what I mean by round is 240 and then again at 250. That's GLD. Taking a look at cryptocurrencies. So we've seen a run to the upside of our move. Again, as August hurt the stock market at the beginning of the month, it also hurt cryptocurrencies, brought it down below 50,000. We've made a run back up. We were above 64 over the weekend and currently trading in the 63 range. Again, this should move with the stock market, and it should outperform the stock market. And that gives us a very good cause for our resistance numbers to be exceeded, which are 70,000, 73.5, and then, of course, on to the move to our target, which is our year-end target of 87,000. That's Bitcoin. Ethereum, a little bit different on the chart. We're getting close to a breakout at 28.25. We break above 28.25, and then we see 3,000, 3,500, round numbers, 4,000, and then we have that 40 800 area, but we'd have to get through a lot to get there. I think that 3,000 and more importantly, that 3,500 number look like some really big resistance numbers for Ethereum. So all in all, for our takeaways for this week's market outlook, stocks and gold are close to all-time highs. The bond market is agreeing by supporting a rate cut, and even Bitcoin is pushing resistance, with the only thing here that seems to be still in the bearish camp would be oil, but that could change as well. All right, so that is our market update for the final week of August.